It would be an understatement to say I'm excited for Marvel Token Fighting Souls. Since its first reveal trailer in June of 2025, I've kept a very close eye on it. I love the game's characters' designs, I love the art style of the game, I love the forward tag team fighting mechanic, even though I'm really bad at using it. I've played both the closed betas and will be playing the open beta for the game. I have watched all of the character reveals, or I guess team reveals, and I've pre-ordered the game. With the last team for the base game being announced, being the Samurai Outriders, consisting of Deadpool, Blade, Ghost Rider, and Loki, I would like to talk about who I want to see as DLC characters in the future.
Let's start out with some heroes.
I feel like the first obvious pick that anyone who would do a video about this would pick is the Fantastic Four. I mean, it's a 4-tag team fighting game, and it's the Fantastic Four, so I think they're a great pick.
But you can't have all 4 because the character packs for the DLC are only going to be one character instead of a full team. But hear me out, what if we could mush them all into one character? I'm not talking about like what they did with the Super Scroll in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Peep game and lock in for a second. What if we have Herbie as a neutral character? He's the one that you'll be technically playing as. But for the actual moves, we have the Fantastic Four coming in and helping. As a counter, you could have Mr. Fantastic picking up Herbie and then throwing him onto the enemy whenever he dodges the move. Then maybe you have the Thing jumping in and running over your enemy. You could have the Human Torch flying over you guys and throwing fire at your enemy. And if they get hit by it, they get a little bit of damage done to them over time. You could have Susan putting a shield bubble over Herbie and making him invulnerable to being hit for a little bit. For Ultimate, you can have Herbie calling all of them out and all of them just doing some sort of hit to the enemy. That's the only way I think we're gonna get the Fantastic Four in this without it being like a Super Scroll or something. Because you want the whole Fantastic Four, but you don't want them to take up a full 4 character slots, you know? So by calling the members in, you get 1 character slot taken by all 4 of the Fantastic Four members. That way also, none of the Fantastic Four members are left out. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure none of that would ever work in a fighting game for multiple reasons, but this is, again, the best scenario I have where I can think of all the Fantastic Four members getting in the game. Now, if you could only pick one of the members, I would probably choose Thing just because he's my favorite, and I feel like he would make a really cool fighter, but I like the Herbie idea a lot if Marvel Token could properly execute it. Next, I think it would be really cool to see either Black Bolt or Medusa of the Inhumans. Black Bolt, you can obviously have him whisper and it like creates a projectile scream. You could also have him jumping up and screaming down, and maybe if it hits the enemy, it stuns them for a few seconds. You could also have a command grab where he whispers in your ear, bursting your eardrums and sending you to the ground. His ultimate would of course just be him screaming and shattering the opponent's eardrums. Medusa, you could have her constraining her opponents with her hair, and then for her normal attack you can have her just whipping them with her hair. You could have her choking her enemies and choke slamming them to the ground. You could also have her making a shield with her hair because her hair is like impenetrable, which I think it's hilarious that they made her hair canonically really hard to get through. Her ultimate could be her throwing them up in the air with her hair and then whipping them a few times and then slamming them right back down to the ground. Side note, I would love any Inhuman inclusion in this game because they deserve a win after what they did to Black Bolt in Multiverse of Madness, and after that god-awful TV show. Miss Marvel was the only win they had for a while, and then she's even being turned into a mutant because of the MCU. And I know she was originally supposed to be a mutant, but I do like her more as an Inhuman just because that was the one win the Inhumans had. I just recently finished reading the Visions, and I think Vision could be a really cool character to have in this game too. You could have him phase and dodge a shot and counter back. You could have him flying around shooting his laser too. I think the phasing is where he would be really cool. Like maybe for his ultimate, he could phase the enemy underground and then laser their head, then phase them back up into the sky and laser them back into the ground. There are thousands of heroes you could add to this fighting game, but what I think makes this game so cool to me is that they're putting in characters that have never been in any fighting games before into this fighting game. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't love to see their take on different characters that have been in different fighting games, such as the characters that have been in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. Characters like Thor, Cyclops, Nova, and Phoenix I would love to see in this game. I know the Marvel Token Fighting team would do way better at designing these movesets than I would, so I would love to see how they design these characters into this fighting game. Let's move on to some anti-heroes. I think Moon Knight would be a really cool character to have in this game. You could have him switching between his different personalities maybe during the fight. Maybe if you switch to Jake Lockley during the fight, you get a bit of a damage boost because he's brutal. If you switch to Stephen Grant, maybe you get a bit of a movement boost because of how quick and precise he is when fighting. Maybe for Mark, he can take a little bit less damage when getting hit because of his high pain tolerance. And of course, he would have a move where he throws a bunch of random stuff and says random bullshit go. For his ultimate, it could turn night and Khonshu could send a beam onto the enemy from the moon. I think it would also be pretty cool to see either the Winter Soldier or Punisher in this game. I'm putting these two in the same section because they both essentially have the same powers, except of course Winter Soldier has a metal arm and the Super Soldier Serum. Both of them could of course use a bunch of their weapons and different guns. I think it would be kind of cool if both of them played like Cecil from Invincible Versus. Their light attack could be them swinging a knife, their medium could be them shooting an AK, and their heavy could be them shooting a sniper rifle. For the Winter Soldier, at least you could have a move where he blocks with his metal arm and then hits you back with it. Punisher could have a move where he pulls out 2 machine guns and shoots you with them. For Ultimate, honestly, I would be completely fine if they copy Punisher's Ultimate from Marvel Rivals. Then for Bucky, you can have him beating you to a pulp with his metal arm. Out of these two, if I had to pick one to be in the game, it would be the Winter Soldier, just because you can make his moveset a bit more unique with his metal arm. But I did want to add the Punisher in here just because he would be a cool character to have too. I know this hero isn't technically an anti-hero, but he's the world's greatest superhero and greatest villain, so I think Sentry would be a really cool character to have. I think a cool mechanic could be kind of having a override mechanic like Ghost Rider, and if your gauge fills up, he switches to the Void, or maybe if you die as Sentry, you come back as the Void. Something like that could be really cool. I know it would be hard to make multiple movesets for a character, but if there was something they could do it for, I think the Sentry should be the character. You could have the Sentry be a fast-paced character, then have the Void be a tankier, slower version of that, but hits harder. It would be cool if he had a move where he stands in that superhero pose with the hands on the hips, and then if something like a projectile hits you, it bounces right back off and goes back towards the enemy. Then when you switch to the Void, maybe the same thing applies with projectiles, but then if someone hits you with their fist or in close quarters, the Void will grab you by the neck and slam you on the ground. It would also be cool if he changes his stance for that move as the Void. Instead of the superhero hands on hips pose, he just stands straight there, no pose or anything. It would be cool if he had an ability where he could make the opponent forget some of their moves for a few seconds to call back to how he made everyone forget who he was in the Marvel Universe. I think a cool ultimate could be you just going into Bob Reynolds' mind and getting in the middle of a fight between the Sentry and the Void. Last but not least, for the anti-heroes, give me Quicksilver. If they added Quicksilver, he would 100% be on my team. I love that character. Have a move where he dashes forward and slams into the opponent. I think it would be also really cool if they had a move like in Injustice 2 for the Flash where he slows down time for a few seconds. Have a counter where he's just dodging everything thrown at him effortlessly, and then he comes back with a bunch of punches when the counter is finished. Have a command grab where he grabs you, spins you around really fast, and throws you. For his ultimate, make it to where he runs around the opponent really quickly, making a bunch of speed clones. Then he just jumps you with the speed clones. Last, let's talk about some villains I would like to see in this game. First, of course, I would love to see Thanos in this game. He would have a bunch of moves utilizing the Infinity Stones. You could have him teleporting with the Space Stone. The Reality Stone, he could make a clone of himself to to do something for a little bit. He could use the Power Stone to shoot a beam of energy. For the Time Stone, he could go back in time and gain some more health back. The Mind Stone he could use to invert the opponent's controls for a bit. I honestly don't know what he could do for the Soul Stone, but I'm sure they could find out something. For his ultimate, he can snap and turn you into dust, and then snap again and make you reappear. His ultimate would just have to include something with snapping, in my opinion. Another character that I would like to see is Annihilus. I think it would be cool if Annihilus used his army of the negative zone bugs. I have no idea what they're called. The Cosmic Control Rod, he could open a portal right on top of the opponent and drop a beefy bug right on top of you. He could open another portal and get a smaller bug out of it and throw it at you, and it does like tick damage over time. He could also use the rod to send a energy ball towards you that goes slowly towards you. He could have a command grab where he picks you up, flies you up, and then drops you back to the ground. I also think it would be cool if he had some sort of counter where whenever he gets hit, it adds a good bit of percentage to his skill gauge. He doesn't do anything to attack you back in this counter, but it would go to your skill gauge. For his ultimate, he could bring you to the negative zone and have all the insect creatures just attack you, and then him do a finishing blow. I would also like to see Ultron. He could have a move where one of his Ultron bots comes up behind you and grabs you for a second, restricting you from moving for a second. He could put a trap down that if you step on it, you get electrocuted. He could have an ability where he switches his primary melee attack to this sword type of thing, kind of like how in Marvel Rivals he has it, but the trade-off is that the hits are faster, but they don't hurt as much. And then if you don't use this ability, his normal hits do a bit more damage but are slower. For his ultimate, have him blabber on about how humans are imperfect or something, and then have his Ultron robots just start jumping you, then him come up and just electrocute you. Let's also see more of the Enchantress. I think it would be pretty cool to see her use her magic defensively and offensively. She could have a move where if a projectile is sent towards her, she can change it into some health or something for herself with her magic. She could also use her magic to create armor around herself that would be broken off over time. You could have her slam the ground and a magic pulse goes around her in a circle, doing damage to anyone around the circle. For her ultimate, you could have her seducing the enemy, and then as they're coming towards her, have her send a big beam of magic out towards them. Lastly, for the villains, I know she isn't really a super villain anymore, but she used to be a villain, and I think it's a recent change that she's a hero. Emma Frost could be cool to see in this game. She could turn into her diamond form to have her defenses up, and then also make her more of a tank when she is in that diamond form. She could have a little projectile that comes out of her mind, and if it hits you, you slowly walk towards her for a second or two. She could also have an uppercut that sets up for an air combo that you could do. She could also have a move where she jumps up and kick slams to the ground. For her ultimate, she of course mind controls you to come towards her. Then she turns diamond and choke slams you into the ground. Then choke slams you again and again and again. To finish off this list, I'm just going to say a bunch of characters that I would also like to see in this game that I haven't already mentioned. Silver Surfer, Blue or Captain Marvel, Daredevil, Nightcrawler, Gambit, Psylocke, Rogue, Gore the God Butcher, Doctor Strange, and Scarlet Witch. And of course there's more characters, but I don't want to be sitting here for 30 minutes naming characters that I would love to see in this game. In this video, I tried to pick more interesting characters and characters that I haven't seen being talked about in different YouTube videos. Here's some YouTube videos that I've seen and watched talking about different DLC characters for this game. You should go watch them too. They're all pretty great. And of course, if I put them in this list, I want them in the game. And I do think they're cool characters that could have unique movesets. And again, I'm sorry if these movesets were kind of boring. I'm not a game designer, but I'm sure the actual developers of this game could make a great moveset around these different characters. Who do you want to see in this game? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I hope you have a great day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, or whenever you're watching this video. Thank you for watching.